viewers, how's it going? My name is Dividable Halo HD. Welcome back to the Halo Clan Followers channel for another episode of Community Live. Community Live is going to be renamed to Community Talk, as basically we are not able to live stream anymore. But we're going to continue doing podcasts, and we're going to try to get this done every week. So today I am joined by ShakeyDivine. How are you doing today?
Hey, what's up?
I am joined by Holo Director.
Hi.
I am joined by Hellhound.
What's up?
And of course, Venali.
Hello.
Alright, so we have a list of topics that we're going to talk about through this podcast about the Halo Clan community. So we're going to dive into the first topic of the Halo Clan Followers podcast, Community Talk. And the topic is about the Sangheli community dying. So recently, over the last couple years, since basically 343 took over the Halo franchise, the past couple Halo games did not really have any Sanghelis in it, so it was basically making the Sangheli community kind of like drift off or like kind of fall. What are your guys' opinions? And we'll start with ShakeyDivine.
I mean, with any clan community, with the entire clan community, there are, I guess you could say, conflicts between UNSC and military and Sangheli, and it's just a big triangle. We need all three communities, and if one is hurting, not saying that the other should help, but it doesn't. If we have all three, if we have three different types of clans that you're able to join, it just makes it better for us, because then that gets more people interested in joining clans. So if they had the ability to be a Sangheli, we would be able to have maybe all of those old clans that were around before that were really good, such as like BTF, Vanguard, not RSL, just some others. But all in all, I think it's sad to say that people can't be a Sangheli, because it's just hurting the clan community, I guess you could say.
Alright, let's move on to Holo Director.
In my opinion, I don't think it's right that they've taken away, players' freedom to actually become a Sangheli, because I know in Halo 2, when it was firstly introduced, if I'm correct, I know a lot of people ended up being a Sangheli, and obviously Halo 3 as well, when they opened up more customizations, and Halo Reach when that came out. I'm not really sure why they ended up taking away Sanghelis, but in my opinion, it looks like they're, trying to promote eSports, and I don't think, people would have used it, and I don't think the actual, competitive community used Sanghelis as much as the military does. And as we know, Halo is trying to be in favor of the on the eSports side now, so I don't think it will be beneficial for them to invest money into adding in the Sangheli side, as sad as it is, though. That's all I have to say.
Alright, so Hellhound, what do you believe?
Well, I'm not sure if you know this, but I was a Sangheli for a while. I liked it a lot. I don't think it's fair that they're trying to, what Holo Director said, promote eSports and take away Sangheli. But here's my opinion on the whole topic. It wouldn't be dying if we all moved back to Reach for a while. I mean, you had everything there. You had Insurrection, you had military, you had UNSC, you had Sangheli on Reach. If we just all go back to the home of clans, it'd be all okay. We wouldn't have to worry about leaving a clan community behind.
Alright, let me just go a little bit off topic here, but a lot of people in the Halo Clan community believe that it's not really right to stay on Reach still, as there's next gen games coming out. We already have Halo 4 out, we have Halo MCC, and then soon Halo 5. Would it really be right to be back on Reach for just the Sangheli community?
I don't
No.
know. I don't know. If clans had multiple branches on every game, I don't see the problem with it.
I do, in a way.
If I'm just gonna add in something, if you're talking to someone like me, Halo Reach is not even close to the home of clans. It was more of Halo 3, and actually even more than Halo 3 was Halo 2, was when clans were really big and when a lot more people were into clans. Halo Reach is the baby compared to all of them.
Well, depending on, I guess the media kind of made it seem like a
Yeah,
bigger environment. I mean, I wasn't
yeah,
around within Halo 3 and Halo 2, so I can't really say anything.
yeah.
Um, but you guys are referring to how everyone should go back to Halo Reach, just for the elites. Well, I hope everyone knows that MCC actually contains elites in Halo 2 Anniversary. So if anything else, there's still potential on MCC. So even if the Sangheli clans were to make a comeback, it's still possible on MCC. If not, like obviously we all know they can't go to Halo 5. It's rumored that they may add Sanghelis in at a later date, but that's only a rumor, of course. But it is possible. I just don't believe they feel it's necessary to make a return. To my belief, or to my knowledge, my bad. I believe Sangheli clans have kind of changed into the foreigner clans, right? Like True Didact and people like that. So I mean, I guess this is close to Sangheli as we're gonna get now. And I know that we all love the old days, but it's 2015. We need to move forward. Like I know in the last podcast, and I know everyone's always talking about 2012, and it's not really beneficial to the community if we keep living in the past. We need to move forward, if anything else.
Alright, can I cut in here?
Yeah.
Alright. I see what you're saying. I really do. But if what you're saying is that it's 2015, we need to move on. Why everywhere I go, everywhere I see this is big clans constantly putting down the new ones that are entering in 2015. If what you say is true and that we need to move on, it's not really beneficial for these clans to be trying to destroy the ones coming in.
Well, that's true. I mean, I created the clan in 2013, and I know it's hard creating a clan because I created one recently, but it's all down to the clan leader's spirit at the end of the day. And no one can destroy a clan apart from the clan leader itself. Once the clan leader gives up, that's when the clan truly dies. And if the clan leader can't, hold his ground, if anything else, then he shouldn't be leading a clan. He should receive further training, if anything else. But I understand what you're saying. I know a lot of clans like Navcom and others, especially the UNSC, are going around destroying the smaller clans, but it's mainly because the smaller clans actually accept battles. Because I know there's some clans out there that refuse to fight, which is completely pointless, and some of those clans are pretty old. So the smaller clans provide you with more activity than the bigger ones, from what I've seen so far, if anything
True.
else.
All right.
That's what made it different for me when I started Exodus. Like exactly what you just said. It was hard starting it and hard like maintaining it because you had all these older clans always saying, "Oh, you're just another random who's starting a clan in 2015." We started in the end of 2014, and all of them saying, "Oh, you're just some random guy starting a clan. You're not going to go anywhere. Like, what do you think you're going to do? There's all these other clans, all these big clans that already have a name for themselves. Like, you're not going to be anything. You're not going to be known for anything." And I mean, and look what ended up happening. Like, it.
That's right.
I agree with you. It's like it's all about not only just the leader's spirit, but just everyone in the clan. Like, and we just had the perfect setup at the time with clans trying to move to MCC that gave us our chance. I mean, like, hey, everyone who's on Reach, we're still here. Come join us. And so when all of them came back and they're like, oh shit, Reach is still somewhat alive. Let's see what we can do. And so then we got all these clans. It was the Triad. At first it was us, the GWF, and 99th Regiment, but it was so many more clans than that on our side. And then SDA started, and me and Rorschach had a conversation talking about, let's just do this for activity. Let's just do this to try to kickstart things and try to finish off the year right. And I mean, yeah, it really just has to do with the leader and every member's spirit and wanting to be something in the community.
Yeah, I mean, today's community, like a lot of people try to break the new people's spirit. I mean, it would help if the larger clans actually helped the community grow. But then again, this community has, shown to be very unforgiving, if anything else. So you're right, where obviously everything comes down to leaders. It's nothing else. It doesn't matter what it is, because my clan, I was on my own for a month, and then it finally kicked off, and that's because I carried on trying, just like how you have. Obviously, with two different situations, but it had the similar outcomes, I guess.
All right. We're getting a bit off topic to the Sangheli one, so we're just going to
All
quickly
right.
ask about Venali's opinion on this, right? So, Venali, what's your opinion on the Sangheli community uh,
Um,
dying?
no, I fought the Sangheli back in like 2010, 2011 when I was in ODST. I got to try out for Sangheli Club before for more intelligence stuff to understand their perspective. Um, to be honest, yeah, it does kind of suck to see this group kind of fade away with Halo 5 and stuff. I mean, I'd like to see the community come back with that, but I disagree with moving the reach entirely because we need to keep moving forward. I mean, yeah, was it good for clans? To a degree, yeah. Was it the best for clans? I mean, we saw a big boom, but I think the most, like someone was saying before, Halo 2 had the best interaction with clans. I'll agree with that because I was there too. But I mean, yeah, the Sangheli's that I fought were very, very well organized. The ones that I've heard about recently, in more recent years, were not that organized or not that honorable. But it kind of sucks to see them overall being faded out forcefully, not really by choice.
All right. So, I'm just going to throw in my own opinion here, but like seeing like how like kind of like these the like 343 is aiming towards like getting rid of like kind of the Sangheli and moving more towards like esport, as Hollow was kind of talking about, like you guys or someone said like Halo MCC was a possibility to keep the Sangheli community alive.
Yeah, I said that.
All right. Now, Halo MCC, it's not really a stable game for like any clans at all. I know Navcom is able to make it in there, but like for other purposes such as like their graduation day or whatnot for their Spartan 4s, they have to go onto Halo Reach because they can't support full lobbies. Do you believe that it's like kind of, or what are you guys' opinions on like basically the Sangheli kind of living off of Halo MCC with that game being unstable?
Well, if the game's unstable itself, then I don't see how any clan can have a stable relationship with the game and its members.
I back that one up. I wouldn't if I was a Sangheli, I wouldn't. If I was doing a Sangheli clan, I would not do it on MCC. I would do it on Reach. And as Reach is kind of dying away, people are kind of moving forward with like Halo 4 on 360 or MCC or just waiting till Halo 5. I mean, it is what it is.
Well, the thing with Halo 4 is that it's basically being unmonitored right now because you have a lot of hackers running around. So I don't know if having a clan on Halo 4 would be beneficial for anybody.
There's a lot of what running around?
Hackers.
What do you mean by hackers?
Like modders, hackers, that type of crap.
For Halo 4?
Yeah, Halo 4.
Halo 4 doesn't have Sanghelis, right?
No, it doesn't.
Alright, I'm not really sure. I never heard anything about Halo 4 having hackers at all, so I'm not really sure what to say on that.
I've got a friend who has a friend in, what's it called, cyber warfare or something, cybersecurity, and he said that basically Halo 4 is being unmonitored for that, and Halo reaches.
But Halo Reach, like I know for a fact, a lot of clans use mods. Like if that were true and if they were monitoring the game, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would have gotten banned by now, considering that a lot of the modern maps contain a hell lot of mods. Like they contain a lot of shit.
I'm just going off of what my friend said, so I don't know if that's true or not.
That doesn't sound very accurate.
No.
Just do what I do and have a good friend of yours who is one as protection, I guess you could say.
Alright. Alright, so does anyone really have any like last opinions about the Sangheli community? Like where they're gonna be or if they're gonna actually live?
No, I don't think the Sangheli community is going to make a comeback because unless MCC, does stabilize, and to be honest, the game has been completely neglected. There was so much possibilities we had on that game. The fact that you can go to Halo 2, Halo 3, Halo 4, like you had all that, and the fact that they didn't fix the game and they've had so long to do it. it's kind of heartbreaking. But I guess the Sangheli community can make it work because I know it does support like a low amount of players, if you will. I mean, it's possible if they did like try. It can be done, but I guess it'll turn into a ridiculous job just to get
But we'd
into a
also
raid or if anything else.
we'd also have to deal with the fact that okay, if there was a Sangheli community on MCC, then there should also be some other Spartan presence or like a insurrection presence or militia presence, whatever you guys want to name it.
Well, I mean,
Name it as,
from what I've seen on YouTube, I have seen quite a few MCC military recruitment videos as well. So, I
I'm
mean,
just
I
saying,
guess there
when
is.
Halo 5 does drop
community.
in like not even a month, I mean, where's the community primarily going to be at? I mean, it's going to be Halo
Well, I
5.
mean, you never know. It may have the same effect as Reach did because some people may have enjoyed MCC enough to stay over there. And I know that I know that like I was in a meeting not long ago with a bunch of Sanghelis, and they were all saying that if you leave Reach, you're not considered a true Sangheli when there's clearly Sanghelis on MCC. The thing is as I said earlier on, people are so stuck back in the day like about Reach. I mean, I understand it's very stable for the Sangheli community right now, but when Halo 5 comes out, I don't think people are going to really care what community is doing well because to my knowledge, everyone was trying to get to the top when MCC come out, but it didn't turn out right because the game was broken. We know that the Halo 5 beta was better than MCC, like the actual full game, the beta. So I'm pretty sure Halo 5 is going to be pretty stable. And that being
That's
said, everyone's going to be wanting to climb up to the top. No one's going to really care about what community is stable. All they care about is getting their clans stable at that time. Like, I don't think that will be taken into consideration when people first move over to Halo 5, if anything else.
Yeah, but in all the clamor for Halo 5, like you're saying that's going to happen, the smaller clans might make a surprising, what do you call it? A surprising advance with everybody trying
They
to.
will.
Yeah, with everyone
They
trying
will,
to.
because the smaller clans have actually tried to build a community on here, and everyone else has been on Reach, ass-licking Reach. So I'm pretty sure the smaller clans are going to have a higher advantage, considering that they're more used to the Xbox One platform. But then again, that may not be the cases with all clans. Like Navcon would be a perfect example. But then again, some clans have been using a tactic of gaining a fulsome reach and getting their members to buy a console, like buy the Xbox One from there, and obviously progressing that way. So there's other ways you can get members and everything else, but let's just wait and see.
All right, so we're kind of talking about Halo 5 right now, so we're going to move on to the next topic of the podcast, and I'm just going to give a brief introduction to it right now. So we're going to kind of talk about the future for Halo 5 for when it comes to clans. We're going to talk about the Halo Waypoint script that was basically announced through Halo Follower, and that video itself is something to talk about as well. And then we're also going to talk about eSports and basically what's the clan community is coming for when it comes to esports. So
Alright.
pretty much we're going to start with ShakeyDivine, and if you want to kind of list what you believe the future for the Halo 5 clan community will be.
If the game can support us, then there's no reason why the clan community shouldn't prosper. I know for a lot of the big clans, and I've said it a lot to my guys and some other people, it's going to be some form of Game of Thrones, in the sense that there's all these big clans with big names who are really popular and that are going to be on there and trying to make their stake in the very beginning and trying to go all out in the beginning to try to overshadow the small ones. That I think starting from the beginning, it's going to be really interesting, and especially when we get more used to how the game works, and if raids are still going to be a thing, or maybe, Halo Reach was the first game where raids became like a really, really big thing. There were raids on Halo 3, but it wasn't as big as they are on Reach. And maybe clans, maybe some creative people will come up with some other ways for clans to contend with each other besides competitive or besides raids, which will be pretty interesting. When it comes to esports, I don't really have an opinion on that. So yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Holo Director. What do you believe? What's your opinion on basically the future for Halo 5, and basically the esport whole concept?
Well, I think it's nice that they're bringing esports to Halo and Xbox all together because PC has been PC gaming has had quite a few hot esport games like League of Legends and everything. So I think it's really nice they're bringing that along, but they shouldn't force it on people. Halo 5 is, in my opinion, it looks like it's built around esports, nothing else. Like it's in favor of the just esport players, and I guess it's good and bad. I don't think the game really supports military clans, but then again, Warzone can kind of be a good change for the community, if anything else. Like how, the competitive community was talking about how the raid guys don't do this, don't do that. Well, I believe Warzone, can change how raids work. Like no more forging. There's no more concept of having an unfair map because 343, I believe, made that. So I guess raids could be changed in using the Warzone maps for that, if anything else. But as for the esports and everything, I believe it's a good thing, but I don't think they should force it. I think they should have taken a lot more dedication into the freedom of the player, if anything else, and I believe they've taken that away from everybody, and I don't think that's right. You know, um, just forcing people to waste time, trying to get good at the game, if anything else. It sounds stupid, but if you think about it from the military aspect, I mean, we've always thought about forging the best base, dwelling in custom game, not sitting around freaking doing callouts and all that. That's not really what I play Halo for, but whatever.
All right. Let's talk to Hellhound. What's your opinion on the whole concept of the future esports and everything?
Halo 5 for me, what I'm hearing now is major spoilers for me because I've been trying to stay away from all of that jazz. So first time I pick up the game, I'll be totally surprised. But esports is something I'm familiar with since I am in a esports organization as their head of media. Now, esports has been around for a while, as we all know. It's been good for Halo for a couple years. Now, I'm not sure what you mean about Halo 5 being made to revolve around esports, because isn't every game made to revolve around esports in some way?
Well, I'm just gonna throw in my opinion right here, but like over like the course of the development for when 343 took over, like kind of the Halo franchise in total, like everything has been aimed more to the competitive side, if we want to say, to gaming. Halo 4 was mainly all about like competitiveness. You could basically see how it went like completely competitive when, or they were trying to go competitive when they took out like the Falcon or the Hornet, right? And but there's like a major difference between 343's games and Bungie's games. Bungie's games are more like kind of like for a big team battle thing, right? And having like a lot of people in one game, while 343 games are more for like cooperation, teamwork, and all that, which is kind of the definition of esports and everything like that. So, or when it comes to esport teams. So that's pretty much what I got to say about that. But that's kind of what my definition on how like 343 wants to try to make it more esport alike.
I mean, I guess they're trying to bring in more competition, if anything else.
Well, one thing that I've noticed too is the Call of Duty community is probably bigger than it's way bigger than the Halo community when it comes to media, tournaments and all that, right? We don't really hear much tournaments coming on Halo. Like we hear like the ones that basically are made by like the actual developers, right? The tournaments, but we don't actually hear anything about like the basically Halo tournaments that are like basically kind of sponsored by like these private organizations. There's not really much private organizations when it comes to esports Halo.
Yeah, it's because like I don't think people have really cared about esports, like being Halo. I know they have like a I don't know if it's been released yet. Halo Online, is that being released yet?
I believe it's already out for Rush and online. I'm not sure yet. That's
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that altogether, like PC, like I guess esports is more of a PC thing. Um, but I know that I guess I believe Phase and Optic. Correct me. I don't know if it's both of them, but I believe they are actually intervening with Halo 5 esports. So, some of the Call of Duty community are taking an interest to Halo, and that's already giving hints that it's aimed at esports because clans like that don't easily just pop up. Because they would have done that on Reach if anything else, but they didn't care about it. So. It does point that 343 are aiming to esports. So,
All right. We're going to quickly ask Venali because we don't want to try to forget him like we did with the last topic. So, Venali, what's your opinion on basically the future for Halo 5 clans and also the whole concept of the esports being like dominant?
Um, to be honest, I mean, like we've seen, looking back at like Halo, at the other Halos, and seeing the online kind of evolve. It's like, all we can really do is adapt. We can voice our opinions back in the community forums to 243, but overall, I mean, all we can really do is bitch. As for the esports thing, I mean, I personally don't like it, like as like being dominant and stuff, but I'm going to adapt to it because if I don't adapt to it, then I'm just gonna sit there and like a random person just bitching about how bad the game is while playing the game, which just makes me look like an idiot. So I'm just gonna adapt to it as best I can and make it work. As for where Halo Clans will be in Halo 5, I mean, it's all about what you make of the game. I mean, we made Reach such a big thing, and we kind of lost that in Halo 4 and MCC. But I mean, the only thing we can do is just adapt and adapt our clans to do it. I remember when Halo 4 first came out, and a lot of the clans didn't know what to do with Halo 4 because they're so used to Reach. I knew what to do because I know how to adapt to it. But I know not everybody can just snap a finger and adapt to things. But the best thing you can do is just try different things, try to be creative about things, and see how it works out. I mean, to be honest, the only thing we can do is just push forward. That's all.
Yep.
Yeah. And one more thing, I had to say, apparently I've seen, I don't know if you guys have seen it, Warzone is not available in custom games. It's only matchmaking,
Yep.
which kind of sucks. So, yeah.
oh well, that's that idea out the window
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna talk about. We kind of forgot about this topic. It was kind of thrown in with this the topic of Halo 5, but I think it was a week ago or less than a week, a video appeared on Halo Follower talking about basically the clan scripts being put in for Halo 5 Guardians, or that's what Chris said about it. Now, obviously, Panther or Venali, and then like a bunch of other people that were part of Halo Follower, and pretty much everybody figured out that this script was for Halo Waypoint, right?
Wait, what?
No idea.
Okay. Venali, what's your opinion on this script that was basically pointed out on Halo Waypoint?
Chris was an idiot. I mean, I think that's the first step that we should take. That almost half the shit he says on YouTube. Like I've talked to so many people that just hate Chris, and I go on every video that he has that he posts on Halo, and I just dislike him all just because he's too fucking stupid. I mean, to be honest, I know the guy that found that. I believe I gotta make sure I have the right topic because otherwise I'll be like talking on my ass like Chris does. But I think it was just misunderstood. Basically, I'll have to look into it again to be 100% sure because I don't want to talk out of my ass.
All right, I think I know what you're talking about. I believe Blasting Light told me the guy, too. I forgot his name, who actually found it, right? And then like apparently Chris just went on the whole topic saying it was Halo 5. Turning the whole video into like saying something about clans going back to like the Halo 2 times or something.
Yeah, I would turn into one big fucking clusterfuck because again, Chris has no idea what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah. All right. So, but anyways, this is a clan script that was on Halo Waypoint, right? So quite possibly this clan script could be implemented or could be kind of put into like Halo 5 as well. So it is a possibility, right?
I
I
may
would-
sound retarded, but what is a clan? Is that the title that we had in MCC as?
Well, for clan script, like I believe, like what they're trying to do, like back in Halo 2 was when clans were first like put in place,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I was about to say I can hit on this. Like back in Halo 2, since it was on the original Xbox, there was no you wouldn't go to the dashboard and have a friends list. But if you started up Halo 2, you had like your own friends list on there, and if you scrolled over to the right on a different tab, there was a clan list to where literally you can invite people into your clan. You have your own clan name, you promote people, demote
Oh.
people, and it was
So it's
built.
like Elder Scrolls, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And
I would.
Okay, I understand it now.
yeah, you couldn't change the responsibilities of each rank. So like each rank would have certain things that they're allowed to do, and you couldn't change it. But if they added into Halo 5 or even Halo Waypoint, it'll make everything more organized,
Yeah,
and I
definitely.
think and I think it'll so how Hollow, I don't know. I think you were the one that was talking before about how on Xbox One, how it's hard to run a clan because it takes forever just to recruit one person.
Yeah,
Um,
that's right.
yeah, and if they do this, then it'll make it easier for all of us. And
That's right. Yeah, I mean,
so I think it's
I know Elder Scrolls has quite a decent recruiting system, and if they done that for for Halo 5 where you can just click on someone's name and it had a tab where you can just invite to clan and done it like that, and you can just go around inviting everyone to your clan. I guess it'll be really good because then like it won't be as hard. If not, it'll be a lot easier to get members, and it'll make everything interesting. If anything else, everything will become 10 times more interesting if they even had a custom friends list on there as well.
exactly.
Dedicated to just clans. I mean, it'll be very, very good. Very, very good. If that does happen, then my whole opinion on Halo 5 will change.
All right, now once again, this was on Halo Waypoint, so maybe this clan thing could be put for like a Halo Waypoint. Like possibly there could be an app that could allow you to like download Waypoint, and you could basically manage like your clan
I
stuff through
mean,
Waypoint,
I
or
don't
even
think it would be right on Halo Waypoint because not everyone will have good enough connection to be doing that. Because I know Halo Waypoint will suck the connection out your net. So I think it should be a feature directly on Halo 5, like just like a small tab, if anything else.
well, it could also be an app through the Xbox
Yeah, I
One.
mean, of course it can be that as well, but it would make sense to add it within like in-game more than Waypoint.
All right, so basically, does anyone else have an opinions? Panther, Venali, or Hellhound? Do you guys have opinions on this like script?
Not really. No, I'm just interested to see what it will actually entail.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to our next topic of the podcast, and this one is going to kind of be a rant for Panther, right? Or
Yes,
Panther's
yeah.
going to talk a lot about it. I know most of us are part of the military community, but we're going to talk about Spartan II programs, or let's say conscripts and all that, because that's been a big problem, or since like the community of the UNSC has kind of risen to power, right? So we're going to start with crap. We're gonna start with ShakeyDivine. What's your opinion on like Spartan 2 programs, and like what defines like a true Spartan or a real Spartan when it comes to conscript training and all that?
I think I'm one of the last people you should ask about this because I have my own feelings towards specifically Spartan 2s. But I'll be real. I'll take all that clan shit away. But when it comes to like Spartan 2s, like before I started going with this whole insurrectionist type theme, I guess you could say, I always looked at them as like pretty much like as badasses. Like I thought it was cool to have the idea like putting some guys through some hardcore training, making them the most disciplined guys in the clan and some of the most skilled guys in the clan. Like as long as you have that combination, and as long as you make sure that they are the right pick, that they don't fuck up like everyone else, that they are kind of like perfect soldiers. Yeah, obviously no one's perfect, but as long as they're as close to it as possible, I think that would be really cool to actually have guys like that around. Because I mean, they're like the Spartan 2s in Navcom. A lot of them are cool, a lot of them aren't. But like, I mean, I knew Dunbar when he was John, the John 117, like when he was still around and doing stuff in clans. And at that time, I was in the UUF and I was the general of the Marine Corps. and me and him were really good friends. We'd go into a raid with each other, and he'd invite me to a private chat and be like, "Hey, you should just like leave this game. I don't really feel like fighting you." And I'm like, "Same. You should just leave." And he's like, "I'm not gonna leave." And I'm like, "I'm not either." And we would just sit in private chat for like maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then be like, "All right, I'll see you in the game." He's like, "All right," and then we'd leave. Like, there are some cool people like that, and like when it comes to clan feuds, it shouldn't really matter. But when it comes to like how clans run, like how I have commandos and now how I have 501st, like commandos are just like Spartan 2s, just with a different name, and they're supposed to target each other. And then 501st are just like ODSTs, and ODSTs, and both of them are supposed to target each other. Like, that's what we're specifically going for, is the total opposite of a UNSC clan, but just basically just their like anti-Spartans and anti-ODSTs, I guess you could say. So like, when it comes to like what I expect out of them, just like some badass people to fight, I guess.
All right. So, what is like your opinion on the conscription process? Like, what define or what kind of like the process? Like, I know a lot of the Spartans say like to be like a true like Spartan or something, like to be conscripted, you have to go through months of training. I think you
Like,
just said that, or,
if
or you
it
covered it.
if it's months of training when it comes to like making sure that they're the right fit, as in like just not. And I hate when people on Xbox use discipline, like when if they're just mature, like if they're just mature people, like if they're not squeakers, obviously if they're not some troll that goes around, aka Maki God, and tries to act like he's a Spartan too and everyone's god, but like it I mean, when it comes to the conscription process, just do it right and have like skilled guys. Like, try to find skilled guys who are mature and try to, hey, you want to be a Spartan 2, and train them. Like, train them to actually be like Spartan 2s are supposed to be good. Like, not just good at clans and not just like mature guys. Like, make them good like at the game. So, yeah.
All right. Well, this kind of ties in with what Venali's doing right now. So, Venali, do you want to weigh in on what you're doing right now for Spartan 2 programs?
What Adam says is basically spot on. Like, that's what I want too. I like with my group, I'm not making them like, you can come into my group or my subject phase, and which is my screening phase, and be just nail everything. Like, you could just be 100% skilled. But if your attitude isn't there, I don't want you. If you are coming in here with just a terrible skill and a positive attitude, I don't want you. I'm looking for that 1%, once again. I did the same thing with the Panthers. I did that weren't really based on skill; it was more based on intelligence, and problem solving. I'm kind of adding in more combat into this, and it's not about stealth or anything. I mean, we're approaching this like this takes the screening process itself is going to take about a month. The conscription process is going to take probably around 4 months, and the Spartan stuff is even longer. That's more for like you're perfecting your stuff. We're bringing in people who have the ability to think, the ability to play the game well, and one of the first things that they're going to be taught is to respect not just each other, but the person you're fighting. Because if you don't respect them, they're not going to want to fight you anymore. As simple as that. And we want, like, this group is going to be designed to just really just reach out towards the community. And let's say when I'm done, when I leave clans, I want this group to if they want to go back into the community, have these new leaders, these guys who were trained very well, trained with actual tactics, actual strategies. We're actually going to be sitting down and studying stuff. How many clans can sit there and say, yeah, we have to go study tonight for our clan? We will actually look at military tactics, military strategies, take it into Halo, and learn how to apply them, when to apply them. That's something that not a lot of clans do. And the first thing that they're going to be taught is shut the hell up, because your opinion doesn't matter to me right now. You're not seasoned in the way that you need to be. I have some people in here who are just like, who are only focused on like the MLG portion of this or the skill version, and I don't want that. I don't want someone who's going to run around with their battle rifle and just shoot shit. I want someone who's going to be thinking about the person next to them and the person across the map, and how can they support them? How can they give a call out to them and do something to back them up when they're all the way over on the other side of the map or whatever? And then we have teams, like we have blue team, green team, red team. But we don't have like ranks. Like let's say for an example, Adam. Let's say you're one hell of a shot with a sniper, okay? But you are a terrible fucking leader, okay, in combat. I'm not gonna have you lead a team. But let's say for example, you could be second in command of a fire team to where let's say you're in green team. You can be back sniping and giving callouts to red team and blue team. The thing is though is that I don't have like set teams. So like Adam, let's say you're a hell of a leader this time. Or like, let's say this is like your map. I may put you in charge of red team, but next game you may not even be a team leader. This way I'm not adding that superiority like, oh, I'm a Spartan II team leader, I'm better than everybody else. No. Everybody here is treated the same. You could be a team leader one round and then or one game, and then the next game you could just be another Spartan on the deck. Because I don't want like that superiority shit. Like I don't deal with that stuff. I don't deal with the drama. I don't want the drama. That's one of the first things that I talk to them or talk to the subjects about. Is I don't want that. She's like, I want this group to be looked down back at when the community looks back at this to be like, you know what, this was a good program. You know, I saw what he was trying to do. I saw and saw what I was trying to accomplish, and take off of that and perhaps add that to your clan. It may not be everything, maybe just little parts here and there, but I want people to look down at this program and be like, you know what, this was a good idea, and maybe it didn't work out the way it was supposed to. Maybe this won't be as big as I want it to be, but my goal is to have at least 20 people, 20 Spartans. That's all I'm asking for. It's 20 people who are willing to sit down, put everything they have into this, and if they don't make it, that's just the way it is. I know Dividable, one of your friends, contacted me, and I guarantee if he's trying out, he's not going to make it because of the fact that his mindset is too close-minded, and I don't want that shit. Like, I want people who are willing to adapt. If you do not adapt, you will not succeed anywhere. It's that simple. So with this program, it's just, I'm not taking this competitive side and making it the core. I'm taking this morality of it. Like, you need to be good and you need to be intelligent to even qualify for this program. If you don't have those qualifications, you don't qualify. It's that simple. I'm not being lenient on this at all. And relative to like other Spartan 2s, you know, with now come they're more competitive, and then with now spec they're not competitive. With this, it's not based on that. It's like if you're good with a certain, like let's say for example, your KD could be like 1.0, but you were an amazing shot with a sniper. If you were an amazing shot with a sniper, I still want you, even if your KD is a 1.0. It just like that's why with the subject phase, it's screening it through everything. We take you in a campaign. Spartan Ops, Firefight. We go to other platforms of other games to see where your skill is truly at. And I take the time to look at you as an individual relative to you as just your stats. So I guess my program is just more focusing on the individual relative than focusing on the entirety of the group.
Right. You're hired.
All right, now Venali, you were also talking about saying like how you wanted to create these people into like leaders of the community.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we're doing schooling. We're actually doing like sitting down, talking about tactics and strategies. So when you have this basic education system based on military history, that's going to create this motivation for other clans to sit down and do research on military tactics. Because what really defines a clan as a military clan, besides the fact that they have ranks? I mean, that rank colonel doesn't mean shit to me at all, because that colonel doesn't know shit about military tactics. You bring that person into a game, I guarantee their callouts are not going to be as effective as they could be if he was actually intelligent on military tactics and strategies. How do you break someone who's got the advantage? How do you get past someone who's got a sniper? There's not like just, oh, hopefully someone will just shoot him and he'll die, or throw a grenade at him and eventually he'll just die. No, there should be a tactic for this. And I'm not saying that I'm going to win every single game. That's completely false, because anybody who believes that is an idiot. You're not going to win every single game, but you can at least apply tactics to the situation and hopefully, you know, do something more with it rather than just getting sniped for half the game and not know what to do about it. I mean, I'm pretty sure we've all been in situations in multiplayer where we go into a game and this guy is just tearing us apart with a sniper before. I mean, it happens. But you should hopefully have a team or a tactic to counter that, even if your team's not there. If you're just playing matchmaking by yourself, you should be able to know how to counter that sniper, so everybody else in the game doesn't suffer for it. And to create a leader, we need to first start with your knowledge. If you don't know shit about military tactics, I mean, there's not much I can do besides teach you that. So the first step is obviously to educate those who are going to be conscripted, and then as they evolved and as we look at these tactics in the future, when this clan is done, because every clan is going to end, when these guys go back out in the community, you'll have these leaders who were trained with military tactics to go into these clans and perhaps with their own clan or join other clans and rise to the ranks with this actual knowledge of military combat and apply that to that clan. And hopefully, I mean, it's only going to be about 20, 25 people, but I mean, it's something. And hopefully it'll spark the community to start moving towards that, that edge.
All right. Now, there are similar clans with like kind of the same logic or something that want to like try to perfect what you're trying to have, right?
I haven't seen any. I mean, I know Navcom has an OCS program. I don't know if that's still a thing at all, but I mean, I'm glad to see a clan starting to apply this thing, because it's very important to I mean, any game. I mean, you watch even these guys in like eSports, whatever. They have tactics. They may be very basic tactics and very competitive and aggressive tactics, but they are still tactics nonetheless. And as a military community, I mean, a lot of people in this community do not know how to use a tactic or how to execute a tactic. And it's pretty sad to say that we're a military community who lacks military tactics and strategies. Kind of embarrassing, in my opinion.
All right. What is your opinion on it, Hollow Director? Because I know. Oh, sorry, my bad. I'm just gonna finish this off quickly. Now I know you said that you were, or I know that you had like your own UNSC clan, right?
Well, not anymore.
Well, you did at one point, but a lot of people criticized you about like not having like being a real UNSC clan, like not being canon and all that, like the whole issue behind that.
Well, that's completely bull, considering that today's community standards are, quote unquote, is a lot of people turn around and say, well, you're not a real Spartan because you didn't waste like 12 months of your life on a fucking custom game map. Now, this is ridiculous considering they're saying to be conscripted, you have to be conscripted by someone who's being conscripted. Now, if you go all the way back to when I believe I was told it was Halo 2 or 3 when Spartans come about. Rorschach referred me to Halo 3, so I'm just going to refer to that. Now, to make it short, the first guys who started out were not actually conscripted. That being said, everyone who claims to be a Spartan now and uses that logic, you're contradicting everything, because that means that you're all fake. To my opinion, I think Spartans are just completely overused. They don't act like Spartans. They're not respectful at all, and they abuse people because of the title they have. Like, they seem to think that, hey, I've got, like Spartan 2 in my name, so I'm just gonna go around and act like a fucking dickhead to everyone because I think I'm better than everybody else. Like, a Spartan, they just contradict a lot of the things they're actually meant for. Like, Spartans are literally, they're supposed to be role models. Like, if anything else, they're supposed to stand as a symbol, not as some fucking dickhead that goes around trash talking everyone. Like, Spartans are role models and nothing else, and people need to understand that. They're not some MLG wannabe, some raid dweller. They're just role models. Doesn't matter what they're standing for, they're just role models. That's as simple as it gets. That's my opinion on it.
Alright. We're going to move on to Hellhound. What's your opinion? Because I think were you part of the UNSC community that much? Or
when I first started out, I'm not sure if any of this applies. When I first started out in the clan community, I was approached by a guy by the name of Batman, who ran Reaper Nation. I don't know if any of you heard of him or not. I was approached by him. He's like, if you can beat me in a 1v1 or at least get 5 kills within me, I'll make you a Spartan. And I was like, alright, I'll do that. And I got within, like, I guess 2 kills of him. And he's like, he gave me a Spartan tag. And I was like, I'm not sure if any of this is how a Spartan's supposed to be. But alright, I'll play with it. I'll go along with it. And he spent like a month just not doing anything with the Spartans or his Spartans or whatever. It seems like nowadays anyone can be a Spartan. Just throw on the tag, throw on the emblem, throw on the armor, kaboom, you're a Spartan. But I I kind of agree with Hollow Director here. Spartans are supposed to be a symbol. They're not supposed to be dickheads running around like, oh, I'm better than you, I'm a Spartan. That's my opinion on it.
All right. Does anyone else have more to weigh in on the Spartan thing?
I do. I have some more to weigh in actually on that. I mean, like, I completely agree with with what the Spartans are now is horrendous. It's terrible. It's disgusting, and I hate it. That's why I'm doing this program differently because I don't like when I was doing this in the ODSTs. The Spartans were not known for that at all. In fact, it was like almost the complete opposite. Like they were role models. I'm trying to bring that back the best I can, and hopefully, I do. But I mean, I completely despise of what it has become now. It's completely horrendous, and hopefully with time it'll change because
Yeah.
it is bad.
I mean, it is bad. Like, I was criticized so much because I changed and I just threw on the Spartan tag. Like, I couldn't really give a shit what anyone else thought, as everyone knows. I mean, like, when I was running Spec Warcom, I knew there was one around. I didn't know it was running, but I knew there was a previous SWC. The thing is I put that there to kind of give the members something to look up to be like, okay, well, I commit, and that's what I can become. Like, and the people that were loyal, the people that showed leadership, the people that showed confidence and respect, I put as Spartans. Not all of them were really good at the game. I can honestly say that. Like, I made it purely about respect, so then other people can kind of see that, being that, okay, well, this guy is a really high rank, he's a Spartan, he's respectful, and they're gonna try and copy his attitude to try and get to that position. And that's pretty much what I was trying to achieve. It didn't go as I planned, but like, yeah, like, Spartans should be respectful, and I guess they've lost their way because it's like a what's it called, like an industrial product. It's being mass produced, and
Yeah.
because of that, it's lost its efficiency, if anything else. And that's the same thing with the Sanghelis, if anything else. Going back to that.
It's kind of ironic too because a lot of Spartan 2 clans will talk about canon and how like they need to have their group based on canon. But if you look into the larger context of what canon is, and for Spartan 2, Spartan 2s really are not what we consider competitive because what is competitive to what we know right now? It's Spartan 4s. Spartan 4s are the ones that we see all the time in these war games doing competitive based things. So this idea that Spartan 2s are competitive is technically wrong because it would be Spartan 4s who are extremely competitive.
Mm.
True,
I agree.
All right.
I mean, I've read all the books, every single Halo book. I've played every single Halo game, and I mean, I know my Halo stuff, and I know for a fact that these Spartan 2s that are going around now aren't like how it is in our community, which is sad.
All right. Okay, is there anyone else that wants to continue with the topic?
Mm. I don't think anyone else wants to. I think everything that's said was said.
Yes. I would weigh in more, but a lot of you guys kind of just cover what I was going to say. Exactly word for word. Like, I was going to say something, then Venali's like, oh, I got this to say. And I was like, oh, okay. I won't say anything.
I'm sorry about that.
It's all right, no problem. We're going to move on to our next topic. We got about, let's say, 2 more topics left, and we're about 50 minutes into, or 53 minutes into the podcast. So I think we're doing pretty good right now.
Yeah.
So the next big topic, it's probably going to apply for some of the people that are here in this podcast right now. Some people that are not really part of the social media group, then you might remain quiet for a while. But we're going to talk about social media interactions. Now, recently, like, social media started to be a big thing for, like, clans as well, right? So we're going to kind of, like, cover over the Facebook groups, the kick groups, and whatever else that we can, like, kind of interact in the clan community through. Now, recently, the Facebook groups were kind of introduced a couple of years ago, right? And the kick group started, like, coming out about a couple months ago. So we're going to start with ShakeyDivine about, like, what's your opinion on these, like, Facebook groups and kick groups and all that?
So I'm a part of probably every Halo clan page on Facebook, and it gets annoying when you have these people who just post constantly, and it's really only a select 3 or 4 people who do it, and
Sorry.
they're arguing back and forth with each other. And I mean, every everyone shits on Commando Arc. Let's not lie about that. Everyone
Oh,
does.
Oh,
Almost
jeez.
everyone does. I'm probably the only person who will come out and say that I look at him as a friend. And now, don't judge me from saying that, but
no, he's a
he
nice guy.
he, he
Totally.
he's just one of those guys. He's just trying to run a clan. Yeah, he is the person who he is. He says a lot of things he shouldn't say, and he challenges a lot of people who he shouldn't challenge. But he's just like any one of us. He just wants activity. He wants to do something. He's bored. He wants to start drama, so then it starts activity. It's just his own way of doing it. And I mean, I know a lot of people, including myself, get annoyed with some of the things that he does, but can't really judge him because he's kind of just looking for something to do. Yes, he can go about it in different ways, but I mean, it's him. But then when it comes to people like um, BA Sanguinius, when it comes to I forget a couple people's names.
Arrow.
There's a lot of people who just specifically trash talk people that look to just embarrass people, that aren't looking to just get things going and find activity. They are just looking to embarrass people. And now I don't approve of that at all. And
SOH.
I have my own opinions about Sanguinius and about how, in order to try to beat us in raids and to try to beat us in competitive games on Halo Reach or anything, he would have to boot us offline. And what's funny is that he would do that, yet we'd still shit on him. So it, with my opinions on him aren't very good. So there are a lot of people like him that are only on those pages to troll and to ruin everyone else's day. So there really needs to be some form of control on that. When it comes to the kick group, I don't know, Dividable, if you've been hearing whatever I say when they're being like really fucking racist on there.
I
Um, I immediately jump up and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And it just so happens that every single person that's being extremely racist on there is that same type of person. They're all randoms. No one knows who the fuck they are, and they're all like, come on, let's be honest. Those are really the only ever people who troll and talk shit are people who are unknown because they can do it because no one knows them. So it just pisses me off, and I'll say something and then all of them will be quiet, and then they'll have that one bold guy who will try to say something back to me, and then I'll just tear his whole life apart, and I'll just like, that's just how it is. And
RIP.
people have said that me and Power are the best debaters in that fucking kick chat because there is no debating with me. It's what I say, like nothing what you say, because I
Your way or
don't
the highway.
start. Yeah, I don't start drama in the kick chat. I just like being there. I like hearing about new videos for Halo 5. I like hearing about people doing raids. It is cool to see some of the trash talk that goes in between two clans who are at war with each other. Like, it was interesting when we were at war with Navcom in like the SDA, the trash talk we would give to each other, because it just made it all interesting. It just made us want to fight them even more. But like, when people are just racist for no reason, when they're just causing drama for no reason, it's stress that no one else needs.
All right. We're gonna move on to Holo Director because you have some things I bet you want to say about like the social media groups that we have over there. Because I know you were friends with one of the people that developed one of the first Facebook groups, or you were friends.
Well, I mean, we're currently still friends to an extent. Well, I quite like the idea of having these social groups, but the thing that really annoys me is the fact that there's way too many, and it's annoying for me when I have to post the one video but post it on multiple pages. I'm pretty sure it's annoying for all you guys and everybody else getting their inbox blown up. Um, and something that's ridiculously popular as I don't know who said it before, I'm sorry, is the racism. Now, I've experienced quite a lot of racism because I'm Asian, right? so you can probably tell the kind of shit that gets said to me. And one of the top clans that do this is SOH. I know I rant about them a lot, but they are one of the top groups that go around and talk a lot of shit on other people and generally racist. But the thing is no one does anything, and that needs to stop because if we stand as a community and just say, well, no to racism kind of thing, then I guess it will kind of fade away. I'm not really too involved with the kick chat. I kind of muted all that, and I'm on the Facebook one as well. You muted as well because all that really happens on there is really offensive memes come up, really pointless statements, nothing to do with clans, just a load of bull on this chat, and nothing to do with clans. So, I mean, I believe the pages are quite good because there are a lot of activity to do with clans on there. But as for the actual chats, there's nothing but pure racism and disgusting memes that are just shown on there. And I believe that these chats should be completely shut down. And if anything else, you should get all the respectful people that have respect for other people's humanity, and then create a chat with all those people, and then actually talk about what the chat was made for. Clans, not freaking 9/11 and all that crap. I mean, I know I make jokes out of it myself, but I mean, it's not bad doing it once in a while, but you get people talking about rape and shit like that. It's just fucking nasty, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I just believe it should stop. I mean, I'm bad myself, but, we all need to change, and I think we need to try and make the community a better place for 2015 and 16, 17. We need to just make it a better place for everyone else, because if the community stays the way it is, and if we let it escalate any further than it is now, we won't have a community years from now, because people are just going to look at it like a freaking scum fest. And that's all I have to say.
Alright, we're going to move on to Hellhound. Now, Hellhound, what's your opinion? I'm not sure. You might be part of the Kick one, I think.
Yeah.
And you're also part of the Facebook ones, where I see multiple people insult you on the Facebook ones.
Yeah. In my opinion, the kick one's not even fucking worth going into it. Right now I'm tempting to leave it right now because it's a fucking den of iniquity right now. With all the memes and the racism and that. My real problem is with the Facebook groups right now, is where you're seeing all this hate on multiple people, calling them autistic, calling them spaz, calling them retarded, and relentlessly attacking. I don't find that okay. I just try to ignore that, but if something really bothers me, yeah, I'll go on there, I'll comment on it, trying to say why you saying this? Why are you insulting this guy for something that he can't help, for something that he's born with? I don't know if it's just me being empathetic, whereas a lot of guys aren't empathetic, but that's just me. I like what Ezra is doing with this Halo 5 community page.
I don't think it's needed, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it's too many freaking pages. Freaking hell. How many do you need? Like, freaking, like, we should just have one page. And, in fact, I think we should just get someone who is unknown and give them activity to kind of create something for the community to do. Or if anything else, get somebody who has great experience to do this. Because I'm pretty sure everyone's getting tired of all these different community pages. I know we have the hub, the official one, then the alliances page, and it's all pointless. Yeah, but that's different because that's based on the actual channel. Like, these things, they're not channels, they're just pages. Like, and I think two of them are created by Tyler. I think like two of them are created by the same person. I don't know the purpose of that, but I think there's way too many. Like, as I said, like Halo Clan Followers, that's based on a channel. Like the other ones, they're just there, and they shouldn't be there. There should just be one page, and I guess the page with the most likes is the one we should stick with, and then the other one should be completely shut down, because it's just retarded, in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, I think everyone's already said at least once in their lives that it pisses them off when you wake up in the morning and then someone's had to post the video across because not everyone's intervened with one group. Obviously, a lot of the likes are the same people, but then you'll get different people on the different pages, when if there was just one, the whole community will be, more like a community, will be more intact and everything, and then you can post that video once and get the same outcome instead of posting it all over the place.
I don't know. People nowadays are saying that Facebook is more efficient for recruiting, but how are they going to actually say that if every recruitment message basically turns into a fucking spam fest? Basically.
It does. Yeah, I mean, I've recruited about 2 people from Facebook, and both of them fucked up my clan. So, I mean, I don't use any of those pages for anything like that anymore, considering both people just joined to troll and
No.
fuck up the
I'm not
place.
saying it. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying that every post that someone tries to recruit a person or send out a clan recruitment on Facebook eventually turns into people just spamming it with useless, irrelevant crap.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true, but then something you got to take into account, as I was referring to before, is the um the groups are full of trolls. It is literally full of trolls. So I believe it's run by one. So I mean, you can't really expect the group to be serious if the host isn't like serious. If anything
True.
else, and as I said, like it is what it is. I'm not gonna go and say it again, but it is what it is. Like, I mean, as I said, like we should just get a page, if not start up another one, the final one, if anything, or just use the current one we have, and then just leave it at that. Just simple as that. I mean,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna weigh something in here right now, but a lot of people in the community right now are looking towards Z4 Bros as the main guy that currently runs like the more successful pages and groups. Now Z4 is responsible for the kick chats. He has one that's basically non-associated with basically just normal clan stuff, right? Or that it's not associated with clans at all, and it's just for all these trash memes and all that, right? And then he has another one, which is the one I believe me and ShakeyDivine are in, that he's trying to change up with no racism and all that, right?
Yeah.
Now he also has the Facebook group, and that's currently one of the most active groups of them all, right? So, do you guys believe that Z4 Bros is currently one of the most guys that you guys are trying to refer to as the leader of these groups?
Well, if we're speaking about the person with the most people in his group, that'd have to go to Ezra, because Ezra right now has, I believe last time I looked at it, was over 2,000 people in his group. Now with Z4's, that those kick chats that you're referring to are one and the same. The one with the trash memes and the racism was the one that Z-Force is trying to implement new rules into.
Alright. So, yeah, that's all I really had to say was Z4 is kind of trying to be that like neutral zone for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
Isn't everybody?
Yes. So let's go talk to Panther, because we don't want to leave Venali behind. Now, Venali, are you part of any of these groups?
No, I avoid them because of the stuff that goes on in there. I just don't have any like motivation to sit there and put up with that stupid shit and listen to what people have to say and that stuff. So I just ignore it overall.
All right. So we're gonna quickly talk about. I'm gonna quickly talk about something that I think that occurs here, and that's gonna kind of try to like relate to the old community and to the new community. Now, back in the old community, we didn't really have much for like social media at all. All we really had was YouTube, right?
Correct.
So basically, a lot of like the only people that were well known were clan leaders that were able to produce media or were able to actually get well known through their clan skills, whatnot, trolling. It doesn't matter, right? But like a lot of these leaders were just well known through that. Nowadays, we have like the kick chats. Once again, we have like the social media and all that through Facebook and all that, and all these clan leaders are starting to get known through basically just these kick chats, right? And some of these clan leaders shouldn't be getting known in the first place. Is there anyone you guys want to like just call out who you believe like shouldn't be getting known, but they're known through the kick chats?
No
I
comment.
don't know how this is going to proceed, but I believe Commando Arc is a big one.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
believe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about to say I love the dude to death, but yeah, you may know it.
Now, there were also some people that just troll in the community. Like, I know one of the people like that were getting known in the community only through the kick chats were Marshall Goldpack as well.
Oh,
And
he's a
Yeah.
dickhead, anyways.
yes, now that's one reason on why like these people are getting known is through these social medias. Like, they could easily like get into these groups. They could cause a lot of problems, and then all of a sudden, like the next day, so many people know who Goldpack is or who Marshall Goldpack is now.
Well, that's the kind of host problem. I mean, I don't think you should just let everybody in the groups. I think you should do background checks and find out some information. If not, like do an interview of them to see if they're even valid to be, entered in. Because I know, judging by what I've heard, we're all complaining about this whole social crap. So I think it'd be best if from now on, if people interviewed people before they even allowed them to enter these groups, if they want to kind of improve its outstand, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Then just letting everybody in, because Marshall Goldpack is proven to be an idiot. His top 10 just says it all. So he put himself in his own top 10. I mean, how ironic.
And his top 10 was basically a response to mine.
Yeah, and he said you were biased, but then he puts himself in the top 10. I'm done with him, man.
All right.
Freaking
Yeah.
hell.
The problem with that is what you're trying to say should happen is that it's gonna be a complete time waster in the sense of, you know how many people are in Z4's Facebook group right now?
It's about
Go on.
700.
About 800.
Oh, wow.
891 last time I checked, I believe. And that's gonna be a complete time waster in the aspect that we gotta take all these guys one by one into a Facebook chat and be like, so, what clan you go into? What clan you are? That type of crap. It's gonna be a complete time waster, and no one wants to deal with that.
Well, I mean, it could be done various
Yeah.
different ways. I mean, like, well, I guess I'm not sure if everyone here is a clan leader or anything, but we've all committed to doing that. And if you can commit to doing that, and that's pretty difficult, I'm pretty sure you can commit to a Facebook group. And there should be requirements like 4 months of being on Facebook or something, to try and rule out most of the people.
Try to roll out
Um,
new accounts, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like try and have maybe a certain age, or like, if you want to limit to how many people are, you got to make more requirements. If anything else, instead of it being a pay, why don't you make it a website instead? I think that'll be way more efficient. Having a website, therefore they have to fill in the survey that's submitted, and then you
The
just have it a
application.
quick overlook. Exactly, yeah, and then that's it there and then, done and dusted. If we get people like, I believe, I'm not sure if, what's that clan called again? The one with the media? I can't remember what it's called now.
UNR?
Yeah, like I know they're pretty good at doing all that. So if we get UNR maybe to kind of assist us into making this, because I know they're pretty good at what they do, then
I
we
believe
can
they
probably
already
make
did
an
that.
official. Oh, did they? I'm not sure
I
about
don't know,
that one,
community
but
map, is that what it is?
yeah, I know the community about. But if we made like an actual community social group, but on a web page, and have and obviously, as they're more modern and they're more advanced in a lot of things, I would say that they would be the guys to kind of speak to. Considering they have a web team, I guess they'll be the more efficient answer,
Yeah.
if anything else.
All right.
So
But
I think
once
everyone
again,
should
like,
consider that.
once again, like UNR is an individual clan itself, so they will have like their own like biased opinions on how it goes. It's kind of like shown through basically the UNR Prime how like it's mainly revolved around UNR itself, which is understandable, right? So
Yeah.
when if we're talking about a clan that we want to run it individually, I believe it should be someone that's not in a clan at all, or a
Like
group.
you.
Yeah, but a lot of people are in clans nowadays.
Yeah.
Uh,
Now-
Even you.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'm
he
technically,
is?
I'm
Oh.
technically, I'm not sure.
Oh.
All right. So, yeah. I believe that's all we really have to talk about for social media. It all comes down to basically the trolls and everything that goes on in there, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to move on to our last topic, and I believe ShakeyDivine is going to weigh in a lot on this one. And then a lot of people just might weigh in a couple more. But we're going to talk about community wars now. Hooray. And
Yeah.
we're going to talk about...
So delightful.
we're
I'll be
gonna
right back.
All right, no problem. We're also going to talk about the Triad versus the SDA war and basically activity when it comes to war. So obviously the one of the like last wars that ever like occurred in the community was the SDA versus the Triad war. Now there might have been some small wars, but it didn't really involve a lot of clans as Triad and SDA did, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna briefly discuss about it, and I know you already talked a lot about it through the interview that you've done on my personal channel, but we're probably gonna talk about it as a group now. So we're gonna start with you, ShakeyDivine. What's your let's talk about the war.
Okay. So it really all started and ended being just purely for activity. None of us had really anything against each other, and it's funny, people talk to me nowadays and ask me why I started it, and it wasn't Exodus who started it. It was Navcom and SDA who got their guys together, and then we responded and got the Triad together. And I remember joining the game. It was me and Dre, and we joined Sentry Director's game and had a very nice conversation with him and about coming together as like an alliance and seeing what we could do and assessing like who has the best rating abilities and assessing like who's better at competitive and stuff like that in case they challenge us. And it ended up being to where it was through and through for activity, but a lot of people were taking it more seriously than we expected. There was a lot more trash talk than what I would have liked. It when it comes to SDA and Triad, it ended to where there was literally only Navcom left, but we still had full Triad. We still had the full Triad alliance going. We switched out the UUF with the HSC, and after Navcom asked for a name change because their coalition fell, I agreed. They'll try to quote me now and try to say that I approved that it was just a name change and that the war continued, but I never approved that it was going to be the same war. Yeah, we were going to change the name to where it was just Exodus and Navcom, but the war that was going on between the Triad and SDA ended because there was no more SDA. So it ended like that. So, but just going back to that, just going back to the Triad, I want to see, when it comes to community wars, I want to see when it evolves that activity is really the only purposes, like, for going to war. But a lot of people will disagree and say that the wars to where they start over something happening or they start over just some form of drama, those are the wars that are really interesting. That those are the wars that a lot of people follow. And one of the only reasons why people followed the Triad versus SDA was because, one, it was the only big war going on right now, and two, it involved almost every clan on Halo Reach. Yeah, there were a lot of clans not involved, but there were probably more clans involved than not involved. So that's what just made it more, it just made it so interesting. It just made it fun to get on every day and have something new to do, some new people to raid. And like I said before, even though it was the Triad and there was only 3 of us versus the original 7 of the SDA, we still had a lot of clans that were like, hey, even though we're not part of the Triad, we're still trying to help you guys out as much as possible by just raiding this clan, this clan, just constantly trying to draw their attention and trying to let them know that we're fighting for you. And that's just what made it awesome. Like, it kind of brought everyone together in the military community that was still around and brought everyone in the UNSC community, even though in the UNSC community, I felt bad for Navcom because it seemed like there was only maybe 2 other clans besides Navcom that were actually considered good clans, like that had like some good-hearted people that were actually looking just for activity. When you have clans like EPCOM and CENTCOM and all those other shitty-ass clans trying to start something and end up getting either kicked out because they suck or kicked out because they just don't get along with the other UNSC clans, I felt bad for Navcom because they were kind of the lone soldier fighting on their side. When it comes to just wars evolving on to Halo 5, that'll be something we will all have to see, I guess.
All right. I'm just going to weigh in something really quick because I was involved in the Triad versus the SDA war as well. I was part of both Triad in the beginning when it was UUF at the time, right? And
Yeah.
then later on, like as Strike started going to like gas chamber maps, I left the clan, and then later found out that they were kicked due to basically losing too many games for Triad. Is that right?
They lost 7. They lost 7 in a row.
Even on some
7.
gas chamber maps.
Yeah. Like, how
What?
does that happen? How
Yeah.
does that happen?
Now, when I joined the UNSC community, I was obviously just a cadet and everything like that. But later, I quickly rose to E5, which is basically the sergeant of UNSC, just because of my popularity or whatnot. But when I was during on the SDA side, I was part of the clan called EEF. I'm not sure if you heard of them that much.
Yeah, I know you.
Yeah, now it wasn't the best UNSC clan in the community, but it was a clan that was able to pull lobbies and able to do some successful raids at times, alright? But during the whole war, it wasn't really that like much tension. Like there wasn't really much shit talking or like spam talking like at each other, compared to the wars that I experienced back during like let's say the Acto Alliance versus the what is it exactly? The J-Arc Alliance, which I would like to call it that time, right? Now,
Yeah.
during the time of the Acto versus the J-Arc Alliance, like basically there was a grudge between a lot of people that hated UUF at the time because UUF was usually like the antagonist to many clans in the community, and not many people liked UUF, but not a lot of people also liked the clan that was called CENTCOM during the time of like 2012, which is ironic. But there was basically a mutual hatred, and a lot of people were kind of like pushed to like have this war go on, and that's why the Acto Alliance was created in the first place to basically oppose the J-Arc Alliance, the same way like you created the Triad in response to the SDA.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just wanted to weigh that in.
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna move on to Holo Director. Now, I'm not sure. I don't think you participated in any big wars that much, really. You kind of participated in what is it?
The SOH war.
Conflicts. Yeah, conflict wars with like other clans. Now, do you want to
Yeah.
weigh in on what your idea of like what fueled this war and everything?
What fueled the war was jealousy of me having a chance of being successful, if anything else. Like, I guess the leader was kind of jealous and threatened that I had taken. Well, a couple of his guys joined me, and he felt quite threatened, and I don't think he quite liked the idea of me having my own go at things, which is something I do myself, so I can't really complain too much about that. But there's many other wars have been in like the conflict we had within the board of directors, which was something that was quite notable within the BOD history, I guess. With the UGFR and UBH and my own. But I mean, I don't really want to elaborate because I don't really like going down memory lane.
All right. Let's move on to Hellhound. Were you part of any like significant wars or like part of the?
I don't think I was part of any significant wars, but I do remember the first clan v clan war that I was part of. Um, it didn't really go well for me because I had split off from the Mandalorians and started up a clan called UNIT, which was short for Unified Intelligence Task Force. Yeah, Unified Intelligence Task Force. Um, what basically happened was I got after 3 weeks, my clan fell due to mass propaganda against me. I guess you could say. Um, I would like to say I had fun during that conflict. I guess, but it really just caused me a lot of stress, and ended up me ending a unit and trying to find my own way or path into the community more.
All right. Now, Venali,
Yep.
were you part of any wars? I know you were part of like some wars back, or you might have been part of some wars, or I guess more behind the intelligence or whatever was going on
Mm.
during like let's say the old times. But were
Okay.
you part of like any like significant wars that you want to tell us any stories on?
I mean, I could talk for hours on that. So, I mean, I guess I'll just kind of like talk about some of the wars that I was in. I mean, I helped the UN through through a lot of wars, um, a lot of false flag operations, a lot of shield operations for them. Um, the I did a lot of combat with NavSpec War. That's where I saw the most of my combat, at least. And then when with Halo 4, I mean, I was more just I wasn't like leading a clan or anything. I was more just like I was in NavCom for a little bit. I did some intelligence work for the UNR, and I guess the majority of my stuff was mainly just either block operations or when I was fighting, they were just they were significant, but not like groundbreaking or like changing the entirety of the community or something. Um, I think the only like big impact I made through through combat would have been with NavCom versus the UUF. I mean, I was the last blow dealt to the UUF before NavCom declared victory. I mean, I guess that's the most significant role that I played in combat, aside from the ODSTs and um, the NavSpec. But I mean, I've been in almost every single war besides the major one with the one that wasn't with Navcom in the UUF on Halo 4. It
Oh,
was like this is with UNR and shit.
NRI versus
Yeah, I
UUF.
like that was the only battle or any war that I was not really involved with. Like at least the larger one.
All right. So one of the main topics of this was the SDA versus the Triad. So we're just gonna quickly go over this, and I believe this is gonna be the last thing we're going to talk about. But what is your opinion on the SDA versus the Triad war? And we're gonna skip ShakeyDivine as he kind of pretty much summed it up already. So let's move on with Hall Director. What's your opinion on that war?
I wasn't involved, so no comment.
All right. Hellhound.
I wasn't part of it either. I've only seen it in glancing posts, so I don't have anything to say on it.
All right. And how about you, Panther?
I wasn't involved either.
Well, do you have an opinion on it?
I have no idea what happened.
All right. Well, I guess that kind of
Well, that was quick.
that was quick indeed, for sure. I guess there was only two of us in total in this podcast that was actually part of the war.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to cover at all through like these questions that were asked and whatnot, or
Don't think
topics?
so. Don't think so.
All right. I think that's pretty much it for this podcast then. All right, so we're just gonna end it off right here. So I'd like to thank you, ShakeyDivine, for joining us on this Halo Clan Followers Community Talk podcast.
No problemo. I'm excited for Halo 5.
I'd like to thank you, Holo Director, for being part of HCF still and part of this podcast as well.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you, Hellhound, for joining us.
It was definitely an experience.
All right, and good job, Venali.
Thank you.
Anyways, guys, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Community Talk, be sure to like it up. If you guys have any topics you guys want us to talk about in the next podcast, be sure to leave it down in the comments below. And that's pretty much it. If you guys want to also be part of the next Community Talk podcast, just message me over Skype. My Skype is Joseph Dividable Halo. And we'll try to set up a time, and hopefully another podcast will be released next week, hopefully around the same time as this one is. Anyways, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll talk to you guys all later soon. Bye.